People who received the arc said that the story hooked them from the start and that it kept getting better and better. Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to talk about, and I'm very surprised to say it, December 2024 releases. We are saying goodbye to 2024 and it's blowing my mind how time flew by. It's concerning. It's very concerning. Okay, without further ado, everything that I'm going to talk about in this video will be linked down below. And the first book is an anticipated release of mine, and to a lot of people too, I think. It is the second book in the Hurricane War series. It is called A Monsoon Rising. And I didn't want to read the synopsis for this one because I wanted to be surprised, but the beginning of the synopsis says, prepare for more enemies to lovers romance, magical adventures, and political schemes. And I'm so here for it. I cannot wait to read the second book because when I read the first book the first time, I thought of it like more of a setup to the series. I loved the writing. The writing was so good in my opinion. And I loved the world building. It needs a little bit of getting used to, but once you immerse yourself in the story, I really enjoyed it, but I think I'm going to enjoy it more on a reread. So yeah, I'm very much anticipating my reread for the Hurricane Wars and then continuing on with the series. And Monsoon Rising is going to release on December 10th. The second book is another anticipated release for millions, I want to say, of people. It is book 5 in the Stormlight Archives. It is called Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. I personally didn't read this series and I didn't read Mistborn, and I'm trying to figure out which one to start with. So if you are familiar with Brandon Sanderson works, please let me know if I should start with this series or the Mistborn series, if there is like a order that I should follow. And this book is going to release on December 6th. The next book is a psychological mystery thriller. It is called What the Wife Knew. And listen to this pitch. This is a twisty domestic thriller about a wife who is wondering who killed her husband after they tried twice and finally succeeding, because this was supposed to be her job. Yes, I'm super intrigued too. I'm super intrigued too. The husband is a renowned surgeon and now he's dead due to a fall down the stairs. And the neighbors are angrily pointing fingers at his new wife, Addison, because first of all, she's much younger than him. Secondly, he married her very suddenly, and also the marriage only lasted for 97 days. And he'd had 2 suspicious accidents during that period of time. And now Addison is a very rich widow. And this is going to release on December 10th. Yes, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to find the audiobook and give this a try because this sounds so good. The next book is Quicksilver. It is the re-release with Harderscape. We have a new font for the title. It is different from the NG version. Also, I think we are going to have foiling underneath the dust jacket, and this is the Waterstones signed edition. I hope it's still available. And we have these purple sprayed edges. And yeah, I'm super excited. I already pre-ordered this book and you know, I read it. I loved it. It is on my top reads of 2024. So very excited for this release. The next book is called The Holiday Klaus. First of all, let's take a moment for this cover. This is super cute. I love this. And we are following our female main character, and she's helping her brother organizing a holiday wedding in 6 days, and she finds herself sharing a room with his best friend. This is Grumpy Sunshine, forced proximity, age gap, billionaire romance, and we don't have a third act breakup, which I love because sometimes that third act breakup can be like a little bit out of the blue. You are like, why? Why? We don't need to have this. So I really appreciate that. And this is a short novella that is going to be perfect for the holiday season. If you don't have the time to pick up a longer book, this is going to release on December 6th. Next up, we have Heavenly Tyrant. This is also a very beautiful cover. This is the second and final book to the Iron Widow duology. It's a YA sci-fi fantasy. In this world, they have robot-like machines to combat aliens, and it's like in Pacific Rim, the movie, if you watched that one. And overall, the world is not kind to women. We follow an 18-year-old girl who offers herself to be a concubine pilot, that's how these machines work, to assassinate the ace male pilot that was responsible for her sister's death. But she kills him in a way that gets her the title of Iron Widow, a much feared and a much silenced kind of female pilot who can sacrifice boys to power up the killing machine. And as a result, they pair her with the most unlikable and strongest pilot. This is going to release on December 24th. Next up, we have a YA horror thriller. It is called What the Woods Took. To be honest, the cover is a little bit scary. We are following a group of troubled teenagers who are going through this forest in a wilderness therapy program. And they find themselves stranded in a forest filled with monsters eager to take their place. We follow Devon. She wakes up in the middle of the night with two men in her room, and when she calls her parents for help, she realizes that this is an organized abduction. She's shoved in a van and driven deep into the Idaho woods until she finds herself with a group of teens that are equally confused. Finally, two camp counselors inform them that they have been enrolled in an experimental therapy program. If they learn how to change their self-destructive behavior and they survive the hike for 50 days, they will come out the other side as better versions of themselves. But there was something strange in these woods, inhuman faces that appear between the leaves, visions of people who shouldn't be there, and one night the campers wake up to find the two counselors missing. I'm very intrigued by this one. This is going to release on December 10th. The next book is called Under Lock and Key by Lana Ferguson. This is the same author that wrote The Fake Maid. I read it in the beginning of this year and loved it so much. I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on the audio of this book because the audio of that one was so good. This is another paranormal romance with enemies to lovers, grumpy sunshine, with the Loch Ness Monster urban legend and Scottish mythology. I'm 100% sure this is going to be a fun time. This is going to release on December 3rd. Next up, we have A Cruel Thirst. The cover. This is absolutely gorgeous. It is a YA fantasy with vampires. This is pitched as a fledgling vampire and a headstrong vampire huntress who must work together against their better judgment to rid the world of monsters in an unresistible romantic fantasy. Overall, the feedback from the ARC readers are very positive and I cannot wait to pick up this book. This is going to release on December 17th. Next up, the Hodderscape Vault is opening again for this limited edition of Red Rising, the Vault edition. It is going to release on December 5th, and we have this beautiful red foiling underneath the dust jacket and also bonus content. If you want to get your hands on this edition, I highly recommend pre-ordering. Everything is linked down below, as I said. And the next book is You Are Dead to Me. This is a YA mystery thriller. This is pitched as Gossip Girl meets Happy Death Day. And we follow Ruby, who is a scholarship student at an elite rich high school. She hates her classmates for the snobby, entitled attitude, and she runs a secret TikTok account called Reputation Killer, where she exposes the awful things her classmates do. But she's outed as the owner of the account and everyone turns against her, and she sees her own ghost in a bloody prom dress. Fearing for her life, she teams up with her best friends to try to investigate, try to figure out what is going on. People who received the ARC said that the story hooked them from the start and that it kept getting better and better. This is going to release on December 10th. Next up, we have a cozy mystery. It is called Knife Skills for Beginners. This is written by the MasterChef semi-finalist and the cookbook writer Orlando Murren. And this is his debut locked room culinary mystery. This is pitched as The Maid meets Knives Out with a dash of Top Chef. ARC readers overall enjoyed this, saying that it has very engaging characters and the surprises kept coming. I am personally very intrigued by this one. You know I love cozy mysteries. This is going to release on December 24th. Next up, we have The Party by Natasha Preston. This is a YA mystery thriller, and I love this cover. I love this cover so much. I love the vibe that it is giving. It is very ominous. This is your classic whodunit, and I love the synopsis. Listen up. We are following a group of teenagers who travel to the heart of the English courtside to a remote castle for a weekend of fun and games. But when the first of them dies, the party takes a deadly turn. As the body count rises, the remaining guests must race against time to uncover the killer's identity before they become his next victim. And I love this setting in this like big old castle in the middle of nowhere. I love that. I am personally very interested. This is going to release on December 3rd. The next book is an adult contemporary romance by Katie Holt. It is called Not in My Book. The story follows two aspiring authors who couldn't be more different in the genres they write. Rosie writes romance and believes in happily ever afters, and Aiden writes literary fiction and believes in realistic, maybe sad endings. Throughout their college workshops, they relentlessly insult each other, and their interactions are overall rude and antagonistic, until their professor reaches her breaking point and decides to make them work together. They can stay in her class on one condition: they have to co-write a novel that blends their genres. This has true rivals to lovers, forced proximity, and a lot of pining and yearning, according to ARC readers. And they also thought that the book was deeper and more emotional than they thought it would be. This is going to release on December 10th. And that was it for me today, book besties. If you made it this far, leave me the book stack emoji and let me know if you are intrigued or interested to read one of these books that I mentioned. And if you enjoyed the video, please watch one of these videos. That truly helps me out a lot. Also, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!